What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Rebel Jiu-Jitsu Podcast. It's me, your host, Professor Daniel, driving to class Saturday morning, 8:45 a.m. Gonna go to the school in Boulder City, clean up a little bit before class starts. You gotta mop, you gotta sweep, you gotta mop, you gotta vacuum. I've been so busy, hard to do a podcast, kind of just so busy, and then when I'm not physically working on my new school or at Boulder City, then I'm pretty tired, so it's been like low energy. Had like a little cold, still a little congested, but I want to get out this podcast because we've had some exciting stuff happening out here in Vegas. So basically 2 weeks ago, Friday before last Friday, I had the pleasure of teaching Tom Hardy, the movie star, some jiu-jitsu. A few weeks before that, I got a message from one of my coach's students. So my coaches are world champions Gustavo and Alexis Fonseca. I met them at Art of Jiu-Jitsu when I was training at AOJ, and great guys. They're like older brothers to me. I've had them at my academy a few times for seminars, and I've visited their academy, and we used to train together at AOJ. We were both like opening our schools around the same time, and I was lucky that they took me under their wing like they did, and proud to represent them. So one of their students hit me up, said, hey, we have an actor coming to Vegas. He wants some training. Would you be interested in training him while he's there? I said, sure. What actor? Well, I didn't even ask. I just said, okay, sounds good. And then they called me the next day, and I was wondering, oh man, I wonder who it is. Is it Mario Lopez? Is it Demi Lovato? Who's coming? Is it Ashton Kutcher? Who's coming through? Let's find out. And he called me the next day. He's like, yeah, it's Tom Hardy. He's a purple belt. He's really strong. He's really competitive. Can you handle it? I was like, yeah, I can handle it. I've been training a long time. Trained with the best of the best at AOJ. I'm ready for anyone to come visit anytime. So that was many weeks ago. Then I'm like, all right. I told my students, hey guys, Tom Hardy's coming through. I told my wife, Tom Hardy's coming through. I'm going to train Tom Hardy. It was only like a day before where I thought, you know what if he might actually not come, because people say they're going to come train and don't come train, let alone if you're a movie star busy working on a big, huge, multi-million-dollar movie. He might be busy, acting and being a superhero and stuff, right? So it was only like a day before I kind of got nervous, like, what if he doesn't come? Excuse me, still have this amazing cold. A little congestion still. So he was supposed to get into town on like a Thursday, and that Thursday I didn't hear anything. So I was like, maybe he's not coming. Again, either way, I'm teaching class every single day. My life doesn't really change too much, but it is exciting, obviously super exciting, especially in Boulder City. That's kind of the outskirts of Las Vegas. They don't get too many movie stars coming through for jiu-jitsu class. So then that Friday, I got a call that morning from the coordinator, Gay Cobham. Awesome guy. He's a black belt too, and he was kind of like coordinating Tom Hardy's training. So he called me up, verified me. It was like, oh, where'd you train? Who are you? And I talked to him for a couple minutes, and it was great. Got set up to come train that afternoon, and I was like, okay. He was like, oh, they got in late last night. That's why they didn't come on that Thursday. Like, oh, okay, cool. So he also asked me, hey, do you have a couple like blue belts, other belts that can come train with them? I was like, yeah, that's good. Does it just have to get beat up by me the whole time. You know what I mean? It's good. Give them a couple easier rounds. So I called up a couple of my students. Of course, they immediately ran over to the gym as fast as they possibly could. My student Nathan, who's going to be a teacher at the new school in Henderson, he's a teacher in real life in a high school. So he, of course, immediately left his job and met me at the academy. So that was super funny. So it was great. We're at the school. We're all hanging out. Tom Hardy and the coordinator, Gay Cobham, walk in, and the rest is history. We trained for a couple hours. Really nice guy, very charismatic British guy. Super friendly. We went through some stuff, a little bit more advanced, but I didn't know what their level was until we started talking about jiu-jitsu and working on techniques and stuff. But it was good. I wanted to focus on the modern guard and the modern passing. This is what I see, purple belts especially, this being like the major decider in matches now. If you can't pass the guard, then you can't win the match. If they can't pass your guard, they can't win the match. You know what I mean? So just trying to drill those connections between De La Riva, X guard, single leg X, and drill the passing stuff like leg drag to really stop their guard, pass their guard. Getting into a passing position and then getting to side control, you know what I mean? Once you get a little bit higher level, you can't just run to side control. You have to really kind of staple the legs first. So I think I got my point across, showing some leg drag stuff. Very effective, very efficient with the energy, right? Had a great session. Again, they were super nice. Tom Hardy's a super nice guy in real life. Unless he was acting. I mean, he's just a really good actor pretending to be nice, right? But no, he was awesome. Thankful for the opportunity to get to train someone at that level, because again, he's still learning jiu-jitsu, right? It's not like he's a world champion, but he is getting so many people into jiu-jitsu that have never trained before. And that's the coolest thing, you know? I'm more starstruck, when I see like my old coach Tynan and John and people like that, because I know their accolades in jiu-jitsu, and that's the world I'm in. But it was cool to hang out with an actor that's also into jiu-jitsu and bringing jiu-jitsu to the mainstream, making it popular. You know what I mean? People watch him in an action movie, or Keanu Reeves or whoever doing some jiu-jitsu, and then they want to do jiu-jitsu, and then they find out, oh, he really does jiu-jitsu. Oh, that's so cool. So awesome for our academy. Afterwards, super friendly. I took pictures with all my students that were there and put on the Rebels Jiu-Jitsu Rose shirt and like took pictures with the shirt and everything. So can't say enough good stuff about these guys. Really nice. Welcome back anytime. And that's that. I know there's so much to do in Vegas. Obviously, you come to Vegas, the UFC, all that, you know. So it's cool that I even got a couple hours in to train at Rebel Jiu-Jitsu. Very cool. So then the next weekend, so last weekend, we had a jiu-jitsu tournament, a local tournament. So I had some kids compete, I had some grown-ups compete, and it was great. Everyone did very well. Everyone fought hard. Everyone tried their best. Of course, that day, everyone's going to try their best. It's the months before that is going to determine the outcome, right? So I had students. Everyone did good. Again, I had everyone trained hard, and I think everyone learned a lot, okay? There's some things I could talk about, but you don't understand until you live it, okay? So people, like, just easy examples, like people, maybe you don't really get tired in the gym, you're in good shape, but then at the tournament, after a couple matches, it's much more tiring. You have the adrenaline, you have everything else going on, right? So just lessons like that. You got to see who is really ready for it, who's not. And if you didn't win first place, there's just one solution. You got to train more, okay? The volume of training people underestimate, because you can get better at jiu-jitsu just by training. If you train once a week, you get better every week. You're better than you've ever been in your whole life at jiu-jitsu, right? But to compete, you're competing against other people that are obsessed with jiu-jitsu, training as many hours that they possibly can. I knew people that had full-time jobs outside of jiu-jitsu, full-time serious jobs, with the government or with whatever, and still putting in 20 hours a week of jiu-jitsu training, of studying and drilling and training. None of my students are doing that. So that's fine. I don't expect that. But you're going to get those results based on your training. And don't underestimate the volume of training you really have to do to be successful in a competition like that. Basically, the competition is who could train the most over the few months. Everyone has different techniques that they need to work on. Oh, they need to get better at this defense or that move or whatever. But when easy way to think of it is just hours, and the hours will fix all of that. The hours do not discriminate. People start, with a little more talent or a little more athleticism or whatever, but the hours of training, if you really put in those hours, you'll be better. That's it. So it was a great learning lesson for for my students, even for me. Again, I've been training a long time. I trained in kids program. I trained the last 10 years every day, the most serious. Yeah, got cut off, got a phone call, and then stopped recording right in my rant about how long I've been training. So I've been training a long time. That's great. But if you want to get good at jiu-jitsu, there's no time machine, okay? So you just got to keep training right now as much as you can. So something I learned and something that I want to emphasize going forward is I'm teaching the best techniques I could teach. I learned the best techniques I could in my journey by going to places like AOJ in Orange County, the best academy pretty much around right now. And one of the biggest things I learned, though, is not just the techniques, not at all. It's the consistency. So, I was there every single day, 6 a.m., 5 days a week. And even the hardest moves, once you do it 5 days a week, it starts to click. So I'm bringing that back again. I used to have 5 days a week, 6 a.m. at one point, but then I did 3 days. There wasn't that many people doing it. I'm going to be doing that again, 5 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 6 a.m. at the new spot in Henderson. And now it's just up to me to sign the people up and make it a big full class. So I feel like it's worth my time to be there every morning. Spread the word. We'll be there. But I think that's going to be something that could really help people with the consistency. If you use that as a base and you're training 5 mornings a week, and then you get a couple nights in too, that's like 7-8 classes, your level is going to be much better than people training 2 or 3 days a week. Okay, most people train jiu-jitsu 2 or 3 days a week. If they're training 3 days a week, they're killing it. Okay, if you could transform that to every morning at 6 a.m. plus 2 or 3 nights a week, you're going to be the best you've ever been. Again, you don't need to compare yourself to anyone else, but compared to people training 2 days a week, you're obviously going to be doing better than them, but really just focus on how you feel. It doesn't really matter what other people are doing. Everyone starts at a different spot. Everyone's a different weight, a different age, a different belt, all that. But train 5 days a week on some of these techniques, and you'll see how you're connecting it so much better. Jiu-jitsu is all about connection. Okay, it's the connection between your body and their body, giving you that control. The more connection you have, the better is your jiu-jitsu, right? So the more you can make those connections in your brain by training more, you're going to get just so much better. Okay, so that's like the main thing I learned. Like when I got to AOJ, it wasn't like, oh man, the way they do De La Riva is so different and this is what's making them win everything. No way. It was the consistency. Like I saw kids in there 5 days a week in the morning with me, and then they'll stay there for all day for 5-6 hours, 7 hours. You know what I mean? I went home, took care of my baby, worked, delivered food, did anything I could to work and save up to start my school. But still got that consistency in. Okay. So it's like the biggest thing to make you better is the hours. It's more important than almost anything else, is just the deliberate practice. So you got to figure out, even if it's going at a lower intensity, so you can train 7 classes or 5 classes a week, maybe not going as hard in the sparring, but focusing on the drilling more. That's how you really make big leaps and strides with your technique, with your jiu-jitsu. Again, honestly, Tom Hardy, he's stronger than I am. His muscles were bigger than mine. But I was able to win the matches and show him a lot of jiu-jitsu because of the technique, you know what I mean? Because of the connections I have. But he was still good. I'm not trying to say he wasn't good or anything. He was awesome. Purple belt. He's a beast. So great catching up with you guys. Come train with us. We're opening Henderson Horizon. That'll be open April 1st. And very excited about that. Just working my butt off to try to get it ready in time. And that's that. We'll have 6 a.m. every day. We'll have 7:30 at night. We'll have 6:30 kids class in Boulder City. We'll be there. Same exact schedule, afternoon and evening. We'll be 4 or 5 kids class, 6 o'clock adult class. So follow us on Instagram, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. I got to get back to work, vacuum and teach my classes. You know what I mean? I can't even breathe through my nose. How am I going to do it? I'll figure out a way. All right. I'll see you guys on the mats. Bye.